Welcome to Hot Take Thursday, where Andrea and I answer a listener's question. Just a reminder, we may not always be accurate or right, but we certainly have an opinion to share.
I mean, my opinion is that we are right. So
I mean,
I just want that to be on the record.
I feel like the world would just be a lot better for me if everybody just realized I'm always right.
I agree.
Especially in my own home, right?
Starting in the home. Let's
Starting
start
in the home.
in the home. And
I am right.
then also the broader world. Again, humility is one of our greatest shared characteristics.
Super humble. Super
Mhm.
humble. Yeah. So, do you want to remind our listeners what we talked about on Tuesday?
Yes. Friends. Aw, friends. We
Aw,
answered
friends,
the
we talked about
call.
friends.
Yes, we answered the call of our Honest Women podcast community and talked about friendship in this stage of life. You know, this middle-ish stage of life.
Middle-ish.
Yes, middle-ish. And how friggin' hard it is to make friends as a woman, as a mom. And we got really practical. Like, we offered some value last week.
We did.
Last Tuesday.
I think
Don't you
we
think?
did. I
We
thought
did.
we offered value.
We did good. Yeah.
Go
So
ahead
if you
and leave us that 5-star review and tell us how valuable the information that we offered was.
I hope even more than all the practical tips that we gave our listeners about making friends, that you guys just feel really validated in knowing that you're not alone in this. Because I swear to you, it is the topic that comes up every day in my office.
100%.
So if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to it. But it won't stop you from getting what you need to get out of this question too.
Yes. And I will say, we did an episode on friendship. There are a lot more episodes on friendship coming. Believe me, in reading and thinking and talking with people about friendships, do we have more coming? So if you have not subscribed to this podcast and followed the show, go on to the app, hit that follow button, because I promise you there is a lot more good content coming. In today's hot take, we are going to go to our Facebook group. If you have not joined. We are pulling stuff directly from there. We are answering your questions directly from that. And we are starting really good conversations that we hope build a community that feels safe being vulnerable. You can take risks. You can connect with other women. All right. One of our lovely Facebook group members said, I am longing for the carefree friendships in my previous life, but finding it difficult to connect with new friends. I often move a lot, making many of my friends all over the country. Where I currently live, I'm slowly making friends, but all of these people I'm meeting only know me as mom. Recently, I went on vacation to visit a friend who was also a mom, but we knew each other before we became moms. We were just talking about the topic and almost feeling bonded more, knowing that we knew each other before we ever became moms. Essentially, this listener is asking, how can I form friendships outside of my mom role? I want to be known for more than just being a mom, but I also don't know how to make friends who haven't known me before I became a mom. So a little bit of identity shifting, it sounds like.
Yes, that's what I'm hearing. My gosh. First of all, same girl. And unfortunately, a lot of the friends that we have once we become parents, especially if we've moved, are not the same people who knew us when we were dancing on the bar in college. You know, like those friends.
Thank God half the people who knew me now didn't know me when I was dancing on the bar.
I know.
Woo!
Do you ever think about, like, what if your kids could see you before you became mom?
Yeah. I have a box in the crawl space that will not come out for a long time because too many questions will be asked. And that is like, yep, former Jessica. That is like, that's staying in the vault for a while.
Did you save any of your like sparkly tube tops? Because I
don't think I saved any sparkly, but I scrapbooked, Andrea. Yeah. I scrapbooked. And I mean, I don't even know why half the pictures I put in there I thought were, I mean, I mean, it's the most incriminating piece of evidence I've ever seen in my entire life about why I
Mhm.
made bad choices. I mean,
Mhm.
not only did I put it out there, I like made it look pretty with like the
Mhm.
scissors and the stickers and like, yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Oh yeah. I
I have
scrapbooked my mistakes.
I also started a scrapbook and I did not finish it as is. That's very on brand for me. I got like 3 pages. I I don't know. I think as we talk about this, there's just it's such a powerful shift when you become a mom. You really do feel like you move to a different country or you become a different person. And a lot of what bonds us in these motherhood years is the fact that we're moms. I mean, you literally make friends with people by staring at their children and assessing, like, is that baby the same age as my baby? And it's a lot of time the door that you walk through is like, we have kids essentially the same age. Now we are potentially friends. And so our role does provide parameters, I think. A lot of times we know each other first in our role. But I think we also all long to be known as like real people.
Oh, for
So
sure.
sometimes my role as mom feels like I'm not a real person.
I think this listener too is I would say perhaps challenge like your own thoughts and beliefs about self, because to me it sounds like she is struggling a little bit with the label of just being mom and maybe
Mhm.
feels like this former version of herself has been lost
Mhm.
after becoming a mom. And I think in general, regardless of age or where you're at in life, we all go through these seasons and these phases of life. They become part of our story.
Mhm.
What usually connects us with somebody in the present is a shared experience in the present. So,
Mhm.
whether that is becoming an empty nester, whether that is having a child that just got a driver's license, it's having a new baby, it's sending your kid to kindergarten,
Mhm.
oftentimes that's what connects us. However, remember in Tuesday's episode, we talked about those 200 hours. In
Mhm.
those 200 hours of making a new friend, that's where we start to tell stories of our former self.
Mhm.
That's where they come out. It's not that first time meeting somebody, but you have to have something that connects you in the present.
Yes, that's the door opener. And I wonder, I can't help but wonder if this listener might have a new baby or like little children at home, because
Oh,
I think
totally.
it's so common to be absolutely consumed by your role in that stage. It is consuming. It takes so much
Mhm.
time. You like sacrifice yourself and you're just like not even existing in a lot of ways outside of that role. And a lot of times you're spending time with other moms with your kids. But I think this speaks to the fact that at some point, I don't know if it's in the first couple years or longer, it all depends. We need to start recovering our identity as individual humans.
Yeah.
We have to do things without our children. And that's where you start to bring the old you back. Like she's still
She's
in
in
there.
there.
She's in there. She's
Yeah,
just
my like head is
buried.
spiraling a little bit. Not spiraling. That sounds like it's going to a bad place, but it's just swirling with ideas and thoughts right now. And one is exactly what you said. I'm thinking this listener is a new mom or has young kids. I agree with
Mhm.
you. Maybe we're wrong. However, it's almost like how she's talking about the version of herself is like it died. Like that person
Mhm.
died and there's this new version of me and everybody knows this new version, but I really want them to know this person that she feels like is no longer with us,
Mhm.
right? Like I really am looking at it a little bit like grief and death. And to me, it's like, well, wait a minute. That old version of you, it's in there. And
Mhm.
perhaps there is some projecting out into the world that people only want to know you or only connect with you in that identity of being a mom. And I'm going to challenge that because I
Mhm.
don't think that's accurate. I think maybe that is something within you that you're feeling, or there's a struggle with adjusting to the new title of being a mom. I get it. I was there. I'm not there anymore,
Mhm.
but I've been there. And every woman and any mother out there has been there. And it's,
Mhm.
wait a minute, this is just another hat you are wearing. You are still you.
Mhm. Yeah, and I just wanna echo that this is a normal part of becoming a mom. When you have really little babies, you are consumed by the role, and you can recover a sense of self. But this is another huge issue that I see women run into all the time because they continue to be consumed by the role. You know, this is an
It's just a
encouragement and
role.
yeah, this is an encouragement and a challenge to women. Like when you are out of the trenches and you are not like totally sleep deprived and, with a baby on your boob 12 hours a day, you need to start to uncover who you are. And you need to do things and take up space in your world. I see women every day who come in and they're like, I don't even know what I would do given some time and space. And I'm like, well, sis, we got to figure that
Gotta
out.
figure it out. You need to.
Mm-hmm.
You need to. And I see that transition happen again and shift again for women. Another big time is when they become empty nesters.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if we look at it like retirement almost,
Mm-hmm.
right, you will see this with men like that. And right now it's it's the baby boomer generation, but you see
Mm-hmm.
them retire and they are lost,
Yeah.
right? They don't know what to do and where to go and they're bored. Same thing happens for women who are moms who then become empty nesters
Mm-hmm.
without identifying other things outside of that role. Well, then you become a little bit, it's a harder transition when your
Mm-hmm.
kids leave, when the focus has only been about that role. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Jess, this is something we didn't get into on our episode on Tuesday. This happens a lot where we have so many ideas and we've had so many notes and we just miss something that's really like delicious and juicy. What was the term that you had researched for friends that you had for a long time?
it was, I'm glad you brought that up because it was something I wanted to talk about on Tuesday I didn't get to.
Mm-hmm.
And I really found these terms helpful and refreshing. And these two terms are memorial friends and active friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this because as somebody who has said, I don't have this group of friends that I've always been friends with, and they're my day in and day out, right? Go back to that Girl Tribe, Girl Squad episode from last year that we had out where we talked about that. Memorial friends are really high in affection. So a memorial friend sounds like this friend that this listener just went to go see. They knew each other, they know each other on a deeper level. So they're high in affection. They have a really strong connection, but it's low in frequency and contact. You don't see them often or you don't talk to them often.
Mm-hmm.
But if you every 6 months, once a year, you have this conversation that brings you close together. Then there's active friends, and those are often they can be lower in affection. They may not know you on a deep level yet, but they're high in frequency and contact, and you talk to them on a daily basis, right? You
Mm-hmm.
might troubleshoot something with parenting, something with school, something with your spouse, something with other friends. They're really high in contact, but those are kind of your active friendships on a day to day basis. And those, depending on the season of your life, might revolve around a role.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those people, I don't know if you guys have ever said, I know I've said, no one will ever know you like the people you grew up with or the people you went to college with or wherever those memorial friends are from in this season of life before you had all these responsibilities. And you have to have active friends.
Mhm.
Just remember that your active friends can become as vital to your life. They are vital to your life right now, but they can become as deep and affectionate in time. You need those hundreds of hours of togetherness to where those new present day friends that you're making know you as a human outside of the role that you have.
Yes. And so maybe we tell this listener to look at friendships as memorial and active. So
Mm-hmm.
some of these new friends that you're making in your new role or in your role as mom are your active friendships right now. But don't forget about those memorial friendships. Both of those are very important. They're equally important. They have different expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that
if
is
you're
important.
it is. And if you're struggling with your identity as you've become a new mom, can you let some elder moms whisper this into your ear? You are still the same person. That fun girl who danced on the bar is inside. And eventually, as your kids grow older, I'm not calling you out here at all, Jess, but Jessica and I recently had a night out. My band was performing.
My God, yes, we
I
did.
we should post a picture of that. Yeah, so I'm in a band now. It's a thing I used to love to do, right? This is part of me outside of being a mom. In fact, people are like, "What? You're in a band, but you're a mom." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I have like more than one thing I like to do." So, in a band, I'm performing. Jessica and her husband came out. They were amazing. I only wish I could have been down on the floor with you. Jess was there. She's getting down. We were highly
Uh,
entertained.
I was a little I had a little help from a liquid substance that wasn't coffee. That's my other one. But I will say, Andrea, my active friend right now,
Mhm.
Andrea, one of my very closest friends and an active friend, she got a glimpse of 20-year-old Jessica
I
that night.
sure did. I sure did. You probably also got a glimpse of 20-year-old Andrea because I was taking tequila shots intentionally, but then also, do you remember that moment where this guy tried to give my sister a shot? She's like, I know who will take that. She handed it to me. We both got a little shitty, is what I'm trying to say. We had a great time.
So much fun. So
Yes.
much fun.
And we do other things too now that make
Yeah.
us happy and whole. I mean, we have a podcast. Like, what? I couldn't have imagined this stuff a
Nobody
long
in
time
that
ago.
bar should know we have a podcast. They would have been like,
No.
"You two," or they would think it would be a much different type of entertainment than it is.
But yeah, there is a whole life outside of early motherhood. And the sooner that you push yourself to get there and expand a little bit to do the things that make you you, the more that these active friendships will turn into stronger ones where they know you outside of your role.
Don't avoid it, ladies. Don't avoid it. I
Hmm.
promise you, it only gets harder the longer we avoid it.
Right,
Lean into it.
right. Jess, should this be the moment where we say we've been thinking about having an in-person event sometime in the next year?
We have, we have, we
Yep.
have. I mean, I guess we're going to, which
Now.
to be fair, that night we all went out. I just want our listeners to know the next day we said, well, we know how much we can drink at our own live event.
As much as you think.
Also, like mom and 40 something Jessica cannot hang like 20 something Jessica
I know.
can. Like
I know.
that was
Yeah,
that
same.
as a parent.
Same. But yeah, we hope to meet you guys at some point in the future and be whole women outside of
Yes.
just our roles.
Outside of just our roles of being moms, wives, therapists, all of those. So
Mhm.
if you want us to get going on this live event, because it's on there, ladies, I'm telling you, it's something we were talking about, but we need to push. We really need to
Mhm.
push. So
Yeah.
write to us, send us a DM, send us an email, go on and leave us a review. And in that review, say, we want live, we want live, we want to see you live. But we
Mhm.
want to hear from you. And ladies, we're asking you for the push.
Mhm. Yes, please.
What do you think? Hot take?